we are, gang, with another episode of the Williford Brothers, and we're really excited about this episode because we are joined by, who we got, Lee?
We got Brandonschlechter, the investment joy.
For better or worse, I'm here.
And where are we, Brandon?
We are smack dab in the middle of the Grand Canyon, and I feel very, very small.
Yes.
Very tiny at this moment. This is absolutely incredible. I wish everybody whoever watches this, I wish that you could be here. This is just mind-blowingly awesome.
It is really cool. We landed, and yeah, I mean, it's just amazing to be somewhere that is so much bigger than we are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just God's creation.
Yes, it's
But
amazing.
if you don't know Brandon, he is a real estate investor, car wash owner, and operator, laundromat owner, operator. That's where we met. And also a YouTube star, TikTok star, social media influencer. If you will, I know you've shared a little bit with us about where you started and how you got there, but if you don't mind sharing with our guests, because we've got a lot of entrepreneurs. And that's your thing.
So my name is Brandonschlechter, born and raised in Circleville, Ohio, small little town outside Columbus. Grew up, like my claim to fame is, grew up pretty poor. My dad was a truck driver, my mom sold Avon. Just grew. I never knew anybody that ran a business growing up. Never knew anybody that was wealthy or really had any money. Everybody was just in poverty and broke growing up. When I turned 18, my dad had a heart attack, so my brother and I had to go get in the workforce immediately, so we didn't get evicted. And we ended up getting evicted, but we had to go work I went and worked at a warehouse. My brother picked up trash from the city. I did the warehouse thing for about 3 years and wanted to get into business of some sort or make some money. Never had the opportunity to go to college due to my dad's sickness. I was like, well, what do you do to make money around here in rural Ohio? So I said, I was looking about the different kinds of jobs, and I noticed that all the real estate agents drove Cadillacs and they wore nice suits. I thought, well, that's what I have to get into. So I got my real estate license and found out pretty quickly that they were just up to their eyeballs in debt generally. But then in the course of me being a real estate agent, I started running into real estate investors, and I found out that they tended to have a lot of money. Never met too many broke landlords, and ran into some people that were property investors that were truck drivers just like my dad. And I ran into another guy, his name's Bill. He worked at a hospital as a janitor. And he came into my office one day when I was doing the real estate agent thing, and he said, you know, I want to buy some houses. I said, that's fine, we'll send you to bank, blah, 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 blah. The normal pitch that you have with a real estate agent, you get them pre-qualified. He said, no, I've got cash, I want to buy something. I said, how do you pay cash for a house when you are a janitor? You told me you're a janitor at XYZ Hospital. He said, oh, I started buying houses that were tear-down condition near the hospital. I fixed them up. And I said, oh my gosh, this is what I have to be into. So time went on. I started a full-time real estate investment business in 2013, which is about 10 years ago. Then just started buying property, started renting it out, making money. Don't do a lot of flips, mostly buy and holds, building low to mid-end housing in Southern Ohio. Did that for about 6 years and recorded essentially the whole process. No one really cared what I was doing. Then I bought this laundromat that I'm kind of well known for and started doing coin collections and everything like it because I thought that was just super fun to do content about making money at a business. And then October 2019 rolls around, I go viral and my life kind of changes forever, where everybody starts to care about my laundromat and me going and getting $142 worth of quarters in a week or 3 days off the laundromat. And here I am sitting doing a podcast in the middle of the Grand Canyon. And 4 years ago, this was not in the playbook. Never would have thought in a million years. Yeah, it's truly incredible.
We like to say you can't make this stuff up.
Nope, you can't.
You know, and following you, it's been really cool to be a fan and kind of see that take off. But I didn't know from 2013 to 2019. But those watching, you know, you're going to work for a really long time and nobody's going to notice you.
Nope.
You know, similarly with us in the laundry space, you know, you continue to grow and the Lord opens new opportunities. And then, you know, so how in 2019, how fast was that growth of influence or following?
Sure. So in 2019, I realized that this laundromat that I bought, the one I do all my videos on, it's like, this is the coolest project I've done in a long time. 2017, I bought an old train station and refinished it. And I thought that video or that series would have done well, and it didn't. So in 2019, I was like, I need to really figure out what YouTube wants from me. I need to figure out how to make things that people want to watch. And so I started watching videos on how to edit, how to shoot content with a camera. And I was using my phone at the time, like pretty much everybody else does. I started incorporating things, better thumbnails, better titles, just to make it interesting. And October rolled around. I had done a call-in show with Graham Stephan where he was doing like a pseudo Dave Ramsey show where you'd call in and talk about your business and you'd do a breakdown over the phone and show how much money you're making. I did that and it got released and that got me monetized. At that time, it was very hard to get viral on YouTube without being monetized. And I got monetized, I think it was October the 3rd or October the 4th, 2019. And within 2 weeks, I had a video go viral. And I was at church one evening and I brought my laptop with me because every hour the numbers were going up. And I said, all right, we're going to do a video lesson today. And on one screen, I had our lesson plan. And the other screen, I had my stats, and they were just going up and up and up. And I had 673,000 views in one day. Oh, wow. It just blew my mind. I made so much money off that video. I thought, oh my gosh, I guess I finally did it. And then, coronavirus rolled around and video content kept going big, got into short format with TikTok, and it starts taking off similar to YouTube. And it's very incredible to be at this point, and I'm still very much surprised that anybody wants to watch me collect dirty quarters from a laundromat in Southern Ohio, but people like watching it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you're genuine and you're an inspiration, and I think a lot of young entrepreneurs and those listening would say, hey, I'm 20, 21 year old. Brandon, even Luke, what do I do from this point? What do you tell that viewer?
My big thing is, I'm not going to tell anybody you have to start a business. I like businesses because there's not much of a limit on the upside. You don't have a boss telling you that there's a limit to your income, but you have to be a self-starter. You have to be willing to make sacrifices. I've pulled a lot of 12, 14, 16-hour days, very little sleep, running on not much, just so I could make sure the bills were being paid, my work crews were getting their checks, and it takes a lot of sacrifice. But if you're willing to apply yourself, there's a lot of potential to make a lot of money on it. And then, for better or worse, we live in a very knowledge-based world where it's not so much, it doesn't matter whether you've got a rich uncle or anybody of influence. It's a lot on, are you willing to learn things? Are you willing to research things, and are you willing to apply yourself? And for me, if you're willing to do those things, you can do very, very well in business.
Yeah, the access to knowledge is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's... My
brother
brother
learn anything in about 15 minutes.
My brother has this saying. He's like, it's like growing up. We watched the movie The Matrix, where they just plug something into your brain and they download all that knowledge. He says you're like 3 YouTube videos away from figuring out how to do anything. Yeah, it's truly incredible.
Yeah. So, in thinking about kind of the last 3-4 years, what would you say is one of or a few of your core competencies and maybe your core values that have helped see you through the success?
Well, like, I'm a Christian, like you guys are too, and we've talked about that quite a bit through the day. And I would say my absolute core value is just faith. I want to do something positive for the world, and I don't want to rip other people off and screw other people to get to the top. And for better or worse, that can be used as an advantage in business, but it also can be used as people will use that against you. So I try to run all my businesses ethically, and sometimes there's going to be points where you run into business and you've got the point you could get out of a bad situation by screwing somebody else or doing something unethical, or you can work your way out of that situation. So I would say that ties into my willingness to hard work. Yeah. And inside my companies, I tell everybody there isn't a single job that I won't do.
That's good.
I'm not capable of doing.
Yeah.
I will get down. I was in a hoarder house just a little, like before I came here to Vegas. That's why I've got this sore thing going on. We're in a hoarder house with mold and all that stuff, and we're doing a walkthrough inspection with my contractor, trying to figure out how do we fix the situation, how do we address it, how much is it going to cost, how are we funding it, what are we going to do, what's the pricing going to look like.
Yeah.
I feel like the average person watching doesn't understand how much action it takes. I mean, Lee and I, this time yesterday, were looking at a deal that we're on, and it's just so much action. I mean, you have to take that first step in whatever it is. If it's a YouTube channel, make the first video. Yeah. If it's a business, get out there, learn something about that business.
Well, yeah, we're stuck somewhere between like a gig economy and this desire for 100% passive income, and you realize, you have to get out there and do something, serve people, own something. We talk a lot about that. Ownership is important. But serving people.
Absolutely. I'm not much of a passive income guy. I am much more of the only phrase I can think of is time leverage, figuring out how do you find the right people, how do you find technology to leverage your time to make it worth more. Because, I could go back and working in a warehouse making $11.50 an hour. Might be a little more with inflation at this point, but you can go and you can work a job and your income's tied to that, or you can kind of take some steps, implement systems, hire other people, find technology, and then instead of making that $11.50 an hour, you're suddenly finding yourself $50, $100, $150 an hour. I know, at least in my part in Southern Ohio, I know plenty of very, very well-off people that run equipment, diggers and excavators and things. It's because they know how to use their hands and their brains to make money, and I love that kind of environment because they're doing something extremely positive for society, but they're also getting to a better point in life financially because they're applying their knowledge with their work ethic.
Yeah. Where would you say is your greatest source of knowledge? I mean, it sounds like over these last 10 years, you've learned a lot. I saw that come from.
I've been really blessed to get around some good mentors. I had a hard time like approaching people and saying, how can I help out your business? Can we partner together on deals? Can I help your business structure anymore? Because these people run, I'm just still the same kid from Southern Ohio with no college education. Then I realized that a lot of these bigger investors, and there's something that I can bring on board. And, I like screwing around with technology. I know how to operate a computer. Well, maybe that's an asset. I'm pretty good at marketing on Facebook. Maybe that's an asset. And as I talk to these people, I find out that the ones that are extremely wealthy, they have as many blind spots as I do. It's just that they've typically been doing it a lot longer than I have, and they've implemented a lot of systems and processes to take them to that point where they've been able to scale their business really well. Yeah. So with that, that's been able to really put me in a wonderful position, very blessed position to be around these influential people and say, can I bring some value to your team? Can I help you out with this thing that you're struggling with? And then I get a lot of yeses, I get plenty of no's, but then I'm able to do business with them, and we're all able to make some more money together. So that's been very great to rely on their knowledge base.
Yeah, I've heard you say the words system, process, scale. Those are important words. Where do you see yourself as Investment Joy going? Where do you see the scale?
5 years from now, I'd like to have a lot more subscribers, a lot more video views, but I really want to turn it into a process and system of just figuring out how do I reach the person that I was, the kid that I was when I was 12 years old, knowing that the best off financially person I knew worked at a TV plant. How do I reach into that kid's cell phone or into his computer or his TV and say, hey, bud, you can make something of yourself. It doesn't, your life isn't defined by your situation in life, and here's the exact process to get there, and then hopefully plug them into some resources that'll actually help hold them up. Because if you watch some guy on YouTube and he says, oh, you can do this, there's going to be some kids that apply themselves. There's going to be other ones that are in such miserable circumstances in their life that it's very hard to escape that. And I'd like to figure out some way to build resources so that they can get plugged into something bigger themselves, so then they feel like they're a part of a community and can do better with themselves. And then they've got some people behind them actually pushing them forward and helping them.
And you're already doing that with your Investment Joy. You've got different programs. Tell them about what you offer now to somebody out there.
So right now we're doing coaching and training. I'm doing some quite a bit of one-on-one mentorship where we actually do Zoom calls or Google Voice calls, Meet calls, and then I've got some static courses and training, and then we're doing, actually I'm in the process, I've hired several other coaches. Some of them, Alex is one guy that just so that I can have somebody once a week say, here's someone that's established, that has several laundromats, I'm established, here's how I got my laundromats, here's how you can do it. So then bringing guys from the car wash industry, the laundromat industry, real estate industry, just general business coaches as well, and just pouring into the group of people that I'm helping out at investmentjoy.com. So that's been really beneficial to talk to people. And one of the other things I'm hoping to do this year, I'd like to start an investment fund specifically for helping people get some of the capital they need to do their deals. Yeah, because they're bird dogging a lot of great locations and a lot of deals. I just don't have the capital to deploy to get them to that point. And I realize if I started a fund, I probably could get them to that stage.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really cool. I love your heart for just helping somebody where you were. I mean, it is. Everybody starts from somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. You've definitely been given the opportunity.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying not to waste it.
Yeah. Hey, man.
And everybody has the same 24 hours, but not everybody has the same, family or dynamic or belief or skill set.
Background.
But man, you can take some incredible advice right there, and if you'll apply it. But it all boils down to if you'll apply it.
Yep.
Action is the biggest thing. How we met is I think I messaged you years ago or vice versa, and we were talking because we're getting a lot of laundromat people, and you were wanting to learn a little more about that, because that's all we do is laundromats really, and commercial real estate. But yeah, it's been cool to get to know you, man.
It's been awesome. It's been great. Just the start of great things.
I know. So we were planning to come out here. We're out here in Las Vegas because of the conference summit, Roundtable Summit by Danny D'Angelo, and I said, let's come out a day early. And let's go to the Grand Canyon. Let's take Brandon with us. So I invited him, and he was all about it. Moved his flight, and I think he made an event last night too. But yeah, no, I think that's great. Any other questions, Lee, that you think of that would be good?
I don't know. What do you think about this?
Yeah.
Well, this is incredible. Never thought in a million years.
Yeah, right, so we did Maverick tours here, and our helicopter pilot has been fantastic. I highly recommend the Grand Canyon tour. Which tour is this we're doing?
The Wind Dancer.
This is the Wind Dancer, and you actually land at the bottom or somewhat close to the bottom.
Inside the canyon.
And then there's the Western where you can go up to the top. But Brandon, thank you for coming on.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, man, I look forward to our long-time friendship and watching you grow and seeing how the Lord uses you and Investment Joy and blesses all those.
Thanks, guys. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be out here and started great things together.
You bet.
Awesome.
God bless you, buddy.
All right, cool.
Follow, subscribe, and Investment Joy at the Williford Brothers.
Yep, thanks.